Yeah, I didn't really, wasn't a fan of that at all. It felt like a sparring match, and it felt like you could hear everybody, and it just didn't feel authentic to me.
I'll be in the front. You're good.
This guy's the driver?
Yeah.
Thank you.
This is fine.
You got room in here?
A little quiet, what we were expecting.
Yeah, I didn't really, wasn't a fan of that at all. It felt like a sparring match, and it felt like you could hear everybody, and it just didn't feel authentic to me. But, you know, no excuses.
Your boy, what's his name? Garcia? Retire. Retire. Worst fighter ever. Garcia, the worst fighter in boxing history. Because he shagged everybody with a jab and a check hook. You know what I'm saying? He got good fundamentals, like some shit is decent. He got to keep his hands up and all that. But he ain't no fighter, yo. All that drama shit he be doing, all that racist shit he be doing, and then to
you know, has been off a whole year, and you know, this is a lack of real planning. He should have had a tune-up fight first, and then go into a fight with a guy like Romero.
Ryan Garcia exploded in the wake of a narrow defeat to Rolly Romero, berating the decision in an incendiary post-fight tirade that shook the boxing community and left fans bitterly polarized. A seething Ryan Garcia didn't mince words, saying he left everything in what he felt was a fixed fight. Nevertheless, he admitted that a year away from the ring had taken a severe toll, both physically and mentally.
Just found myself very off after the year layoff. You know, that whole year, you know, it was a lot for me mentally, as you guys know. So the fact that I got here is, and I'm in the position I am, my mind is as clear as it is a victory for me, I would say. Yeah, I didn't really, wasn't a fan of that at all. It felt like a sparring match, and it felt like you could hear everybody, and it just didn't feel authentic to me.
Garcia also confessed he felt strange about the judging, suggesting discomfort with the way the scorecards were read. Although he didn't go so far as to call it corruption, he indicated clearly that the verdict didn't feel right to him.
Nothing was like, you know, progressing in any way, and I just felt weird and off. And I would mention it to Derrick, and you know, we were just trying to figure it out. Like, a weird fever dream just happened. It was just so awkward. Like, I don't know why. Like, usually fights don't feel that way. It just feels like you're in it and you're fighting. You don't hear nobody, nothing. So yeah, that was a little different for sure.
While Ryan Garcia was devastated by the decision of the judges, he was more dismayed at his own performance. He candidly deliberated on his errors in the fight, admitting that even though he felt he had done enough to secure victory, his extended layoff and ring rust were huge factors. Garcia conceded he could have done better, demonstrating a sense of self-awareness and responsibility that added depth to the post-fight drama and left fans wondering what's next for the young star.
I mean, that's just part of just me not, you know, being as sharp as I could be. I just didn't really throw anything, to be honest. I mean, I was just throwing jabs and moving around. I just didn't feel there, you know, didn't feel there at all. And, you know, it wasn't a part of our game plan at all. Derrick had a great game plan. There was a lot of opportunities there, especially when Rolly's was going back. I just didn't let my hands go in any way, shape, or form. That was simple as that.
Even Oscar De La Hoya chimed in, concurring that Ryan Garcia did not fight to his full potential. He conceded that Ryan was short of what he's actually capable of in the ring. De La Hoya pointed out that having suffered this defeat, it's now obvious what Garcia must focus on improving for the future. He insisted Ryan possesses the skill set, but now it is time for him to polish and strengthen his abilities and resolve if he plans to become a world-class fighter.
Power from Rolly's, but he'll be back to the drawing board, and you know,
How devastating?
he'll live to see another day. That's it.
How devastating of a loss is this for Ryan, man?
Not devastating at all. Win 12 rounds. He knows he's way better than that. He knows what he has to do. he knows what he has to do.
Although clearly irritated, Ryan Garcia was diplomatic in not attempting to discredit Rolly Romero. He credited his opponent's work, but also noted that Romero did not do enough to obviously win the bout either. Garcia stressed that both men left room for improvement and that, while he thought he should have won, he accepted responsibility for his own errors and saw the bout as a lesson in improvement and preparedness coming off a lengthy layoff from the ring.
I always knew that he was going to be what he is. I feel like I fought the most dangerous fighter on the card. You know, anybody with that type of power is obviously somebody you got to watch out for. But you know, I thought Rolly was going to be tamed. You know, just think I just didn't do anything I should have done today.
But while Garcia was stuck in his own post-fight drama, the broader boxing community generally viewed it as a simple loss for him. Most analysts and fans believed Rolly Romero had done enough to win the fight, citing Garcia's inconsistency, lack of control, and evident ring rust. Even with Garcia's frustrations and allegations, there was a common perception that he just did not do enough to take the win, signaling the rough road ahead if he wants to rebound. During the post-fight press conference, Rolly Romero showed confidence, admitting that he had always been underestimated, which made that the motivation for his success. He appeared to be energized by the skepticism about him, converting the criticism and low expectations into a source of motivation.
You know, he's strong, you know, he has a good left hook, you know, and you know, one time he opened up, you know, I cracked him and he didn't open up at all the rest of the fight. They're always gonna underrate me because I'm not one of these prospects that started boxing that had a following, and all stuff. They're fresh out the amateurs, they promoted them like, oh, this is the next big thing, yada, 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 all that stuff. At the end of it, I've done this 3 times. Three different divisions. I'm a 3-time world champion, and this might actually be the biggest, the most attended fight card in boxing history. And I did it on this night.
Moving on, Canelo Alvarez lamented Garcia's defeat, particularly after having been so certain that Ryan would win. Being a former mentor and having seen Garcia develop, Canelo appeared truly saddened by the result. His response captured both solidarity with Garcia and disbelief at how the bout was progressing, lending seriousness to how unexpected the defeat was to so many in the boxing community.
Training with Ryan Garcia again, and what's your prediction for his fight on Friday night?
Oh, he's gonna win. He's gonna win by knockout.
I feel sorry for him. But he's boxing. He's boxing, and you know, things happen.
However, Teofimo Lopez was not shy in dissecting the bout, faulting Garcia's durability against Rolly Romero's heavy blows. Lopez said he didn't think Ryan possessed the grit to bounce back from Romero's punches, especially as the bout progressed. He argued that Garcia's ability to handle pressure was lacking.
Yeah, you know, it's crazy. I was surprised how he, I think he just never recovered from that check hook that Rolly did on him. So, you know, I think he was too hesitant, and maybe the hunger is not there like it should be for Ryan Garcia. But hopefully he gets back on his feet, and hopefully we still see the rematch between himself and Devin Haney.
Eddie Hearn, on the other hand, was utterly shocked by the outcome, voicing incredulity at the way the fight went. As a promoter heavily invested in the sport, Hearn had great expectations for Garcia and didn't anticipate the loss. He was shocked by the result, but also by the performance, as he had envisioned Garcia winning handily.
Eddie, just your reaction, man. I can't believe it.
I mean, I said, this kind of environment, like sometimes it can just, I mean, I don't know what to say. I mean,
flabbergasted.
Ryan and Devin just dropped the bag like the biggest bag drop you've ever seen. I mean, you know, tonight was going to be those two in the ring facing off for the big rematch.
It's done?
Done. I can't believe it.
Is it Rolly versus Devin next?
About it. I mean, but listen, props to Rolly, but Ryan just didn't turn up at all.
Eddie went on to say that it was a poor display of performance from Ryan Garcia, pointing out that Ryan failed to display the sharpness and preparedness desired from him. Hearn noted that regardless of the issues in the decision, Ryan's performance was below par and did not meet the required level to win at this stage.
Poor, really. You know, I mean, I did say that. I think that when you fight in that environment, you've got to make sure you're switched on. And he said after, it's a bit like a sparring session, but you've got to be professional enough to go in and do that. You know? So, yeah, poor performance.
Devin Haney was clearly having a good time after having witnessed the outcome, fully taking advantage of the situation. With the loss, Haney couldn't help but savor the chance to throw some shade, as he's a longtime competitor of Garcia. He appeared to enjoy the upset, potentially viewing it as a testament to his own skills and a reminder of the competitive nature of the lightweight division.
Right here.
Hey, Ryan, they're canceling the face-off. They're canceling the face-off.
Stay your ass on outside. What happened? ¿Qué pasó? What happened? What happened? Your mother's
Even Conor Benn chipped in, terming it a disappointing contest and questioning Ryan Garcia's readiness for a bout with him. According to Benn, he didn't think Garcia was performing at his level and wasn't quite good enough to match up with him in the ring yet. He advised Garcia to first rematch Rolly Romero and establish himself as a force to contend with before he can think about bigger fights.
What did you make of it?
That's a very disappointing performance. Yeah, it was terrible.
You still want to get in there with him next time?
Nah, thank you. Not interested. Thank you.
What's the conversations been like about the rematch?
Huh?
What's the conversations been about the rematch with Turkey?
I mean, as far as I'm aware, it's locked in for September.
The worry, as seen by Derrick James, was Garcia's blockbuster entrance and how it could have depleted him early. James postulated that the hype and the emotional investment from the blockbuster entrance could have made Ryan burn out faster than anticipated. He pointed out that Garcia was supposed to stay fresh throughout the fight, but the early fatigue added to his ring rust made him unable to keep up the tempo required to cope with Rolly Romero's pressure.
The walk entrance, you came up in the car. Now the question is, where was the warm-up before the fight? Getting into, you know what I mean? It was at the hotel, you guys warming up?
Yeah, it was at the hotel.
I mean, how long did it take from the hotel to get into the arena? I mean, to the ring.
It was kind of like, it really didn't make sense because like one of my big concerns was going to ice him down, right?
Exactly.
Going to cool him out. I talked to him about it. Too much time in between us working out. You're supposed to stay fresh.
Yeah, you gotta warm up.
I'm not saying that's the reason. I'm just saying that that's like the icing you out. It's too much. So yeah, I mean, well, you can go ahead and answer, but I talked to him about it. Even before I said we got to get this, we got to get it going because he's loose.
I didn't know. I thought it was closer to the arena than because I didn't really watch the entrances and how long it was taking. I was just kind of watching the fights, but I was like, damn, I'm in this Batmobile forever. It was like, and like the gas smelled crazy in that vehicle. I was just like, damn, it's taking forever, but. I wouldn't say that.
Jeff Mayweather also admitted and reaffirmed Derrick's statement that although he and most fans thought that Ryan Garcia was going to win, he never forgot that Rolly Romero possessed a puncher's chance. In Mayweather's opinion, that's precisely what occurred. Romero's power came at the right time, and Garcia could not bounce back.
How come? I thought that Rolly, if anyone, had a chance of probably getting beat, was probably Rolly, and I think everybody thought that. But at the same time, I always said that he has a puncher's chance, no matter what, and that's exactly what happened.
Jim Lampley also came at Garcia hard, emphasizing that Ryan did not demonstrate more urgency or activity during the bout. He wished to see more out of Garcia, particularly in regards to his adaptability and execution. Meanwhile, Lampley complimented Rolly Romero on being disciplined and focused in adhering to his game plan and taking advantage of his chances.
And you would have thought that Garcia would have recognized from the midpoint of the fight on that he had to generate more activity.
Yes.
But he didn't. Derrick James yelled at him, tried to get him to do it, etc., etc. Fighters are unusual human beings. They don't always do what we expect them to do. Rolly Romero moved up in weight, put on a lot of muscle, looked spectacular in there, and had a plan and executed. Won the fight.
Definitely.
Being present at the scene, Virgil Ortiz had his say, believing that Ryan Garcia wasn't active enough throughout the fight. He noted that Ryan was too passive at times and didn't set the pace like he should have, particularly against a fighter like Rolly Romero.
Virgil, what's up, champ? Just got to get your reaction about what you think about that Rolly win.
He deserved it. You know, Ryan just wasn't active enough. Rolly was landing more punches. There wasn't really a whole lot to go off of, but Rolly was more effective.
Are you like surprised by the dub? No, you thought Rolly could pull it off?
I didn't know who was gonna win. If I'm being, I thought it was gonna end in a knockout by either way. But I didn't know who. But I'm surprised that it went to the distance.
Were you shocked when he got dropped?
No.
No,
because Rolly hits hard.
Thank you, Virgil. Appreciate you, Shannon.
When questioned regarding the battle, Amir Khan said he had hoped Ryan Garcia would give a better performance, as he felt he didn't meet the level of a champion. Khan recognized Garcia's ability, but noted that the fight revealed areas where Ryan was lacking. He noted that although Garcia possesses the ability to be an elite fighter, he must improve his skills and mindset if he's going to reach the championship level.
Ryan's performance, I mean, I think he should have had a tune-up fight in between, being at the ring for such a long time, and then having that time at the ring. I don't think he lives that champion's lifestyle. You know, so I mean, look, he's a lovely guy, don't get me wrong. I got a lot of time for Ryan, but I just feel like maybe this is a good wake-up call for him now, that he goes back to drawing board and he starts again, because he's still young. He's still got the hunger and the fire in his belly that he can go and win world titles again and be the #1. Look, in my opinion, he can be the #1 in the division. I thought that Devin Haney was gonna lead that division. Then obviously when Ryan beat Devin, I thought, there's only two guys who I think will lead the division now. It's either Ryan Garcia or Teofimo Lopez.
Unlike Amir, Shannon Briggs was not shy in his condemnation of Ryan Garcia, calling on him to retire and labeling him the worst fighter in history. Briggs criticized Garcia's performance, complaining about his lack of toughness, poor decision-making, and failure to cope with the pressure of a high-stakes fight.
Your boy, what's his name? Garcia? Retire. Retire. Worst fighter ever. Garcia, the worst fighter in boxing history. Because he shagged everybody with a jab and a check hook. You know what I'm saying? He got good fundamentals, like some shit is decent. He got to keep his hands up and all that. But he ain't no fighter, yo. All that drama shit he be doing, all that racist shit he be doing, and then to can fight like that. You lost to Rolly. Rolly not even a... Yo, man. Boxing is crazy. Boxing is crazy right now. If those are superstars, then what? If that's what we got, man.
Bob Arum also ranted against Ryan Garcia, condemning his poor planning and bad decision-making and accepting such a challenging fight after a year out of the ring. Arum stressed that Garcia could have accepted an easier fight to warm up before going up against someone like Rolly Romero. He also echoed Chris Eubank Sr.'s argument, accusing promoters of forcing fighters into high-paying fights without regard for the preparation needed.
You know, has been off a whole year, and, you know, this is a lack of real planning. He should have had a tune-up fight first and then go into a fight with a guy like Romero. But, you know, these fighters and the promoters get turned by the money, and they don't make really good decisions. A good decision would have been to take a tune-up fight and then, you know, then you move to a Romero or even a Haney or so forth. You don't go right in after a year.
Moving on, Shawn Porter was disappointed that the fight didn't live up to expectations. He was also surprised that Rolly Romero, who won, still wanted Ryan Garcia to fight Devin Haney, instead of stepping up to the challenge himself.
The way we thought it was going to go. Exactly. I think the fights were a little dry, and man, I wish this thing was bigger than it was as big as it was supposed to be. It wasn't. I don't know, man. I was actually kind of surprised to hear Rolly say that Devin and Ryan should rematch. I actually agree with that. I think that they should still do that rematch, but I was surprised to hear him say that. A lot of fighters don't just pass that off like that.
Shakur Davis was quite shocked by the outcome, admitting that the fight did not go as many had anticipated. In spite of the upset, he credited Rolly Romero with putting together and implementing a good game plan. Davis admitted that Romero's performance was well planned out, and he complimented him on taking advantage of Garcia's errors.
The fight just got berserk, you hear me? What? Ryan lost? What's going on, Phil? Damn! I think it was a hell of a fight, though. You know, I think it was a hell of a fight. I ain't coming here to bash Ryan. I fuck Ryan. Before they even got in the ring, I dapped Ryan brother up like, yo, knock Rolly out type shit. It just didn't happen. But ain't no love lost. Nigga just lost a fight. You know what I'm saying?
In the end, it was a rough evening for Ryan Garcia, one that left more questions than answers. Rolly Romero did what he was supposed to do, and the boxing world will be keeping its eyes peeled to see how Garcia recovers. That's all for now. Drop your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe for additional fight breakdowns and reactions.